Hey there everyone, welcome back to the layout. So I know I forgot to do a layout update for January. My bad on that, I just didn't have the time to do it. Busy in school, you know, all that stuff. But here's the February layout update. Now depending on the time I have, I might put out another layout update at the end of this month, so this one will kind of be the January one. But yeah, a lot of things has happened since the last time I've given you guys a layout update, so why don't we get to that. So the first thing I've done here is I've actually ballasted all the track. As you can see, the track is all ballasted. Now the reason why I have that push pin there, it's just to hold the switch in place. I'll probably get a few like Caboose Industry ground throws for that, just to hold it in place, because sometimes during operations the switch kind of creeps out to the side and it causes a short and it causes stuff to derail. So that'll probably be a future upgrade. Now I've also added nickel silver track to the whole main line. Before there was some brass track mixed in. The brass track didn't work as well, but this is a lot better. I'll still have to get some wiring done just to make it run a bit nicer, because the back track there is not wired yet. It's relying on this new switch over here, which I've installed to get electricity. So it's not the best way to do it, but I'll add another like wire connection to the back there. And I've also ballasted this Sandpoint Industry here. It's just some small ballasting. Change it up a bit. The yard's going to be gray ballast. The main lines are all black ballast, keeping it simple. And you can see here, it's a little hard to tell, but on camera you can kind of see how I modeled some bad track. In that first scene there, you can see the rail was kind of uneven. This line doesn't get much usage, so it'd be probably typical for the line to be in a little bit of a rough shape. Another upgrade I've done is all of the flex track here. So before, the yard used to be brass track, but I've upgraded it to Colt 83 nickel silver flex track. It's a lot better, and that's a Pico switch there, which is heavily weathered. I'll probably weather some rust onto these tracks too in the future. And I got all the track out all the way throughout the yard. I think it looks pretty bare at the moment, but it should be fine in the future. And I've decided to add some mountains here. So there's going to be a tunnel puller here. I've already bought them. I have to paint them. And this paint job here doesn't look the best. I'll probably fix it up. But here's another big thing. I added a background all around, so you're only going to see this side. The back is a mess right now. I won't really take you through there, but when people come here, they're just going to see this. Since the last layout update, there have been a few new additions to the layout. So the first one being this Atlas Trainman Plus GTSX flat car. It's a really big freight car. I got this from an auction for really cheap actually. Got it for 20 Canadian dollars. Now for Trainman Plus freight car, it's actually a really good deal, because they usually go for a bit more than that. And I was just browsing through the internet and I found this online auction, and this is where I got this from. So, first new thing. The second new addition to the layout is this Bachmann Silver Series Heritage Fund hopper. Now, if you watched one of my previous videos where I briefly explained how I sold my Tower 55 Gevo, I actually didn't sell it, I traded it, and this is one of the freight cars I traded it for. It's a really nice car, a lot of detail on it, and yeah, I overall like it. I also got this Saskatchewan hopper from the trade that I did. This is one of the 3 freight cars I got. The Alberta hopper was the other one, and I got another one, so I'll talk about that right after this. Now this freight car is another Bachmann Silver Series one. I really like the looks of this one. It's not ultra detailed like those intermounted ones you see out there, but they're pretty good detail. Now this is the final freight car that I got from the trade. And out of all of the freight cars, I think this is probably the best one. Like, the detail on this thing is amazing. For an Atlas ready to run freight car, this is a really good freight car. It's got a bunch of ladder detail, underframe detail, and the plastic where the walkway isn't actually see-through, but it's got some like hole through it. So it makes it look nice, and the doors here are very well detailed. All the lettering is crisp and clear, and the paint is pretty nice. The last piece of rolling stock to join the new roster is this Scale Trains Kit Classics Sewline Gondola. Now I picked this up from my local hobby shop, got it for $23, but since it was a Black Friday sale, I got it for $19, which was a pretty good deal for a Scale Trains free cart. Now since this is a Kit Classic, you had to assemble it, but the assembly was very easy, and this car is actually pretty detailed for the price. Now the underbody detail isn't amazing due to the fact that it's a lower price free cart, and it's not one of the river counter ones that you get for like $40, which are like amazingly detailed. But I really like this one, and for the price, I think it was a great purchase. I just went ahead and muted the locomotive there because it is pretty annoying to hear the sound when you're filming. So this is the latest locomotive to enter my roster. Now this is a Athearn Genesis CN SD75i. It's an older one. Now I actually purchased this one used for an amazing deal. The seller was asking $180 for this, which is crazy. You can see how nicely it's weathered. It's got this decal here, which is the Aboriginals one, and the seller, he actually put a custom CN100 year logo there, which I think is really neat. There's a bit of like black marking here, as you can see on the camera. I'm not sure what that's from, but I think it's fine. The front headlights are very nice. The ditch lights come on. They don't flash, but that's alright. And the horn is very nice. The speaker's nice. It's got automatic momentum, so it slowly increases speed and slowly decreases speed when you just power on the controller. Speaking about controller, this is my brand new DCC controller. I got it for Christmas, and this is a huge upgrade from what I was using before. I was just using a Bachman controller just to test out the power and stuff, but I've been waiting on this thing for a long time. I got this from Otter Valley Railroad, which is in Ontario, conveniently, and I'll leave the link in the description below if you would like to purchase one of these. It was on sale before, it's not anymore, so yeah. Now if you're wondering what I use to ballast this track, it's just a mixture of water, PVA glue, and a drop of dish soap to reduce surface tension. Now you can just mix this in a container and use a syringe to drip it on here. I just got a syringe and slowly went over it all, made sure all the ballast was dry, let it dry overnight, and now it's actually pretty hard and everything's glued together, which is good. So when I blow on it now, or if someone just decides to blow everywhere or sneeze, it won't just go flying everywhere, it'll stay on the track, which is very nice, so I don't have to reballast it again. Now one thing I do recommend though is being careful with your turnouts. Only ballast the inside here, avoid ballasting this section here, but if you do, you should get a paintbrush or something like that and brush out all the fine particles just to make sure that the switch is operating perfectly fine and your trains won't derail when they try and go for it. And when it comes to gluing, I recommend gluing only up to here. Avoid these 2 points here because those are the moving parts, so you can actually glue them together if you're not very careful. And ballasting in here and avoiding this part here where the turnouts meet the main rails. Also, mine's a plastic frog here, so I don't have to worry too much about it, but if you have an electric frog, you should be careful there too. Well, that just wraps up the video. So, if you like this video, comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that like button down below, and turn that bell notification on so you don't miss out on any of the videos that I upload. So this is the layout update for February, possibly January, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.